Virgil, we're halfway through Sun and Fun's 51st Aerospace Expo. Glad to see you guys out here. Been a observer from the outside of watching the Bearhawk come up through various generations, going back to Bud Davison and the gang back then and all. And the latest generation's getting really impressive. They're not only monsters, but let's face it, out in the field, they're proving themselves. Tell us what's happening with Bearhawk.
Yeah, so we still have 5 models. Our biggest models behind us, which is the Bearhawk Five. The kind of the whole line of Bearhawk aircraft is made to cruise pretty fast, but also retain that ability to fly in the STOL arena, do off-airport flying, that kind of stuff. So our biggest things we've been working on are new build manuals. We've got wing manuals that are coming out this week, fuselage manuals following behind, as well as covering manuals and stuff like that. So kits have been evolved, all the hardware packages have been redone, all that kind of stuff, trying to make them a little bit easier for people to put together at home. And then the big thing kind of coming down the line this year is more and more of our drop-in packages will be released. So we have prewired and pre-ready, all ready to go avionics packages, electrical packages, firewall, forward, interiors, anything that you need to put in the airplane. We have basically a pre-made install kit for it. Last year we did 42 aircraft, 27 of those were Bearhawk Fives. It's the majority of our market right now. The Bearhawk Five is really just, it's in its own little world in the experimental side of things, because coming down, we actually saw 170 mile an hour ground speed. So we were doing a little, just short of 150 true, and had 30 on the tail at 12,000 feet. And
there you go.
You're bugging, and we were at fully loaded. We didn't even bring a trailer down. We just flew the booth down in the airplane.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the rest of the Bearhawk line, of which you said there's 5 now?
There's 5 models. So we'll start at the bottom. We've got our LSA, is what we call it. So it's a 1,500 pound gross, can also qualify for light sport at 1320. It's an 0200 powered airplane. That airplane cruises about 120 mile an hour, stalls about 31, 32 mile an hour. 2-seat tandem, no flaps, real plain and simple, but it follows the same basic Bearhawk principles. It's a full metal wing with a tube and fabric fuselage.
All right.
The next step up is going to be the Patrol. So Patrol is going to be the Super Cub-esque, kind of in that size range. That airplane's a 2,000 pound gross, usually 800 pounds of useful, 180 horse constant speeds. The big selling factor on that airplane is it stalls in the mid 30s, 35, 36 mile an hour. But even on a set of 31-inch bush wheels, you're going to cruise at 135 to 140 indicated.
Not bad at all.
So it's an airplane that'll move. Typically, your limiting factor at altitude is your VNE on that airplane, which is 165 mile an hour. Next step up's the Companion. That airplane came around because people wanted the Patrol, but their wife didn't want to ride in the back. So it's 2 seats side by side, and then has an optional jump seat. So we sell it as a 2+2. That airplane we build with an IO390, 210 horse constant speed is our preferred engine in that one. You're cruising 135, 140 mile an hour all day long, stalling in the mid 30s, and that airplane typically has 800 to 900 pounds of useful load. Then you come up to the 4. So the 4 is going to be your 1,000 pound useful load. That airplane can be built 2 ways with a 390, 540. The 540 is a 260 horse injected motor. And that's the Bearhawk you've seen for years and years and years that's been out there. So what we're producing right now is the B model of that. So it's got our updated wing and all that kind of stuff on it. And then, you step up to the big one, which is the Bearhawk 5. And, you can configure them kind of however you want. So we have our airframes, and then we help configure them how people want them. So we have small tires and wheel pants if you want to go fast, all the way up to 35-inch bush wheels and all that kind of stuff.
What's the building scenario like on each of these aircraft? What's involved?
When you get a kit now, your fuselage is fully welded. All your aluminum on the front of the airplane, your boot cowl and everything is actually pre-drilled to the airframe, and it's all on there. Your wings have already been match drilled to the fuselage, so you don't have to set any angle of incidence, dihedral, washout, anything like that, and your wings are structurally complete. Your ailerons are structurally complete, your flaps are structurally complete, and so is the whole tail of the airplane. So there's very little opportunity to make it fly crooked. Most everything that's very critical is already set for you. You're just down to rigging to make it fly straight. So really what you do is you start in the fuselage. You do a pre-assembly, get all your cables made, all that kind of stuff done, windows and doors assembled, and then you go into fabric and paint and that kind of stuff. And then the wings themselves are pretty much there. You lay the bottom skin open, you go in, you run all your lines and cables and all that kind of stuff, electrical, camera mounts, and then you rivet that closed and you're ready to paint those as well.
Estimated construction times and costs?
So down on the LSA, you're going to be 800 to 900 hours. And then on up to the 5, you're around that 1,200 hour mark. And those numbers we give, I call that your actual build time.
Yeah.
And then you have what I like to add is education time.
Yeah.
So if you've never shot a rivet, you've never done fabric, you've never done any of that, If you're brand new to airplanes, this is probably double that in time. And then we also have build assist now. So in Oklahoma, we're doing factory build assists. And then we have 2 additional facilities. We have one in Tennessee and one in Florida that are what we call preferred build centers.
Okay.
So they're a third-party entity that has a history of building really good airplanes. And basically, they've agreed to start building Bearhawks. So that helps us kind of keep our lead time on our factory and build assist airplanes down.
All righty. Outstanding. Where can people get more information?
Yeah, bearhawkaircraft.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, all the social media stuff. And if you hop on there, good way to start is there's a configurator. You can go in there, click which Bearhawk you want, put avionics packages, engine packages, everything into it, and it'll help you.
Really get them addicted.
Yep. It'll help you price out what it'll actually cost to build it, rather than just a kit and you hope for the best at the end.
There you go. For sure. And I sure appreciate your time and joining us on Aero-News.
Not a problem.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com